Almost everyone believes this. If a food is labeled healthy, it must be safe at any age, in any amount. That belief feels comforting, logical, even obvious, but it is wrong. And for those of us over 60, it can even be dangerous. Take the avocado. It has been crowned a modern superfood, creamy, green, overflowing with nutrients. Doctors praise it, chefs celebrate it. Younger people pile it onto toast, blend it into smoothies, and spread it like butter. But here is a truth very few dare to speak. For older adults, eating avocado the wrong way can quietly harm digestion, drain energy, and even disrupt vital medications. Strange, isn't it? A fruit that can protect the heart in one person may actually burden the heart in another. The stakes could not be higher. After 60, every choice we make is connected to our independence, our ability to rise from bed, to keep our memory sharp, to walk freely without assistance. Imagine something as innocent as breakfast toast quietly making you weaker, more fatigued, or at risk of dangerous bruising. Not overnight, not dramatically, but slowly, silently. That's why today I want to reveal what almost no one tells seniors about avocados, the 3 hidden dangers, the warning signs to watch for, and the simple daily shifts that turn this so-called superfood into an ally for longevity instead of a threat. I speak these words not as theory, but as one who has lived nearly a century and guided generations. I am Japan's oldest nutritionist. My role is not to follow trends, but to pass down wisdom blended with science that keeps elders strong. You see, the way the body processes fat, potassium, and vitamin K changes with age. What once nourished easily can, without adjustment, become a burden. But here is the hopeful news. The solution is never to give up the foods you love. It is to adapt them wisely so they serve your changing body. That is the path we will walk together in this video. And before we dive in, I want to ask you something important. Have you ever felt that a food everyone calls healthy just didn't sit right with you anymore? Have you ever wondered quietly if your body was trying to tell you something? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your reflection may give courage to someone else who feels the same, but has kept silent. Now, let us begin. Why avocados can turn against us after 60. For many, avocado feels like the safest choice on the plate. It is smooth green and praised endlessly as the friend of the heart. Yet once the body has crossed into the later decades, what was once a friend may slowly transform into a challenge. This is not because the avocado itself has changed, but because the body that receives it no longer digests or manages it the same way. After 60, the stomach and pancreas often secrete fewer digestive enzymes. Bile flow from the gallbladder slows, making it harder to break down fats. Avocados, rich in creamy monounsaturated fat, require this system to be strong. Without it, the fruit can linger, creating pressure, gas, or a dull heaviness just beneath the ribs. For someone younger, this may pass unnoticed. For an elder, it may mean hours of discomfort. Another quiet shift comes from the way avocado interacts with blood and circulation. It contains vitamin K, a vital nutrient for clotting. This is not a problem for many, but for someone taking blood-thinning medication, an unpredictable change in vitamin K intake can upset the delicate balance that protects from stroke or clotting risk. The very same fruit that protects one heart can destabilize another. Fiber too becomes a paradox. Avocados are full of soluble fiber, often praised for gut health. But when the colon moves more slowly with age, and when fluid intake is often reduced, that fiber may become heavy and binding rather than light and freeing. What once supported regularity may instead increase bloating or constipation. In some, this subtle effect builds slowly, leaving them unsure why meals bring discomfort. There is also the matter of potassium. Avocados carry a generous dose, and while potassium supports heart rhythm, it must be filtered through kidneys. For aging kidneys that have lost efficiency, excess potassium can build quietly, leading to muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, or fatigue. The signs are often blamed on age itself, when in fact, they may be tied to something as simple as how much avocado is eaten. Have you ever noticed this yourself? Perhaps a meal that felt healthy left you heavier than expected, or more tired than you imagined. Have you ever wondered if the body was quietly protesting, even as the mind said, "This should be good for me"? If so, you are not alone. Share your experiences in the comments. These stories remind others they are not imagining things, and that wisdom often comes from listening to our own bodies. Beyond the science, there is the lived experience of meals that either sustain or sap vitality. Avocado can bring creamy comfort, but too much, eaten in the wrong context, may leave one drowsy or unfocused. Imagine eating a slice of avocado toast for breakfast, only to spend the next few hours feeling heavy, when clarity and lightness would have served better. Over time, these subtle shifts can reduce independence, draining energy needed for daily strength. This does not mean avocado must be abandoned, it means it must be approached with more care, with adjustments that honor the changes in digestion, circulation, and energy that come with age. Knowing how to adapt, and when to pause, transforms avocado from a risk back into a gift. In a moment, I will share the quiet warning signs that reveal when avocado is no longer serving you. These are signals many overlook, dismissing them as simply getting older. Yet when you recognize them, you can act before small discomforts become lasting burdens. This next part may surprise you, and may explain things you have felt but never fully understood. The quiet warning signs. Avocado may be working against you. There are 3 subtle signals that the body often gives when avocado is no longer being received with ease. These signs are rarely dramatic. They are not the sudden illness that sends one to the hospital. Instead, they are gentle whispers, small discomforts, easily explained away as age or coincidence. Yet these are the very messages that reveal when a shift in diet may be needed. The first is a feeling of heaviness or bloating soon after eating. Many people describe it as a fullness that sits in the upper abdomen, sometimes just beneath the right ribcage. It is not the sharp pain of disease but the sluggish weight of fats that have not been broken down completely. This discomfort may last for hours, making even a light meal feel like a burden. For those with slower bile flow or gallbladder issues, avocado can intensify this heaviness in ways that gradually reduce appetite and energy. The second sign hides more easily and is often discovered by accident. Avocado is rich in vitamin K, which plays a role in blood clotting. For someone on blood-thinning medication, inconsistent intake of vitamin K may change how the medication works. A small shift could lead to unexpected bruises or longer bleeding from minor cuts. Because these signs are quiet and gradual, many overlook them, not realizing that the avocado eaten regularly is quietly altering how blood behaves. The third sign is a sense of fatigue or mental fog that lingers after a meal. Instead of bringing steady energy, the avocado meal seems to pull it away, leaving one sluggish or sleepy. This can be especially confusing, since avocado is praised as a source of long-lasting fuel, but when the body struggles to digest it, the process consumes more energy than it provides. Over time, this fatigue may be mistaken for aging itself, when in truth it is tied to how avocado interacts with a slower metabolism. Have you noticed any of these signs in yourself? Perhaps a strange heaviness after a meal, or bruises that seem to appear too easily, or afternoons where you felt unreasonably tired after eating something you thought was nourishing? If so, share your experience in the comments. These reflections often give comfort to others who are quietly noticing the same, but have not yet found the words to explain it. Recognizing these warning signs is not about fear, it is about clarity. It allows us to see that the body is still speaking, still guiding us toward harmony if we are willing to listen. Too often these messages are dismissed as random, or worse, accepted as unavoidable, but when we pause to hear them, we gain the chance to adapt and to restore balance. It is worth remembering that the body at 60, 70, or 80 years is not broken, it is simply different. It processes food differently, recovers differently, and signals differently. Avocado is not dangerous in itself. What matters is how it is prepared, how much is eaten, and how consistently it is introduced to the body. These choices determine whether avocado nourishes or depletes. By watching for these 3 signs, you can protect yourself from small discomforts that accumulate into larger problems. This awareness is the first step toward making avocado safe again, toward restoring its role as a food that protects rather than challenges. But awareness alone is not enough. In the next section, I will share the gentle adjustments that make all the difference, transforming avocado from a burden into a true ally for health. Stay with me, because these adjustments are simple, practical, and proven. They may explain why avocado sometimes leaves you uneasy, and show how, with just a few mindful changes, you can return to enjoying it with confidence. How to make avocado gentle again. Now that we understand the warning signs, it is important to ask how we can adjust our habits so that avocado supports us rather than challenges us. The key is not to remove it entirely, but to bring it back into balance. With small shifts, the same fruit that once caused discomfort can return to being a steady friend to health and longevity. The first shift begins with portion. Many younger people can eat half or even a whole avocado without consequence, but older bodies benefit from much less. A few thin slices, or 2 spoonfuls blended into a meal, often provide all the healthy fats and fiber needed without overwhelming digestion. This adjustment may seem small, yet it can transform how the body feels afterward. The second shift lies in what accompanies the avocado. When eaten alone on bread, it can be heavy, but when paired with warm vegetables, lean protein, or foods that stimulate digestion, avocado becomes much easier to process. Ginger, miso, lightly pickled vegetables, or even a warm tea alongside the meal help to awaken bile flow and enzymes, making the fruit gentle once more. Another shift comes in timing. Many elders find that eating avocado earlier in the day brings better results than consuming it late at night. The body has more time to digest, and the fats are used for energy rather than stored. By placing avocado at breakfast or lunch rather than dinner, fatigue and heaviness are less likely to follow. It is also wise to allow rest days between avocado meals. Unlike younger bodies which thrive on repetition, older bodies respond better to variety. Rotating avocado with walnuts, flaxseed, or a drizzle of olive oil maintains the benefit of healthy fats while avoiding excess of one nutrient, such as potassium or vitamin K. This rhythm protects both digestion and circulation. Have you ever noticed a difference when you changed the timing or portion of avocado in your meals? Perhaps you felt lighter after reducing the amount or more energized when pairing it with warm foods. Share your experience in the comments. Your insight may help another discover a simple adjustment that brings relief. Hydration also plays a critical role. Fiber and potassium need water to move smoothly through the system. Drinking a warm cup of tea before the meal and a glass of water afterward helps prevent constipation, supports kidney function, and keeps the body balanced. Without enough fluid, even the most nourishing fruit can create strain. Finally, the way avocado is eaten matters as much as the portion or pairing. When chewed slowly and savored, the digestive system is given time to prepare and respond. A rushed meal, swallowed quickly, overwhelms the system. A mindful one, taken in calmness, allows the fruit to nourish without burden. In the next section, I will share stories of people who discovered these adjustments and the changes they felt in their daily lives. Their experiences show that wisdom is not only found in research or tradition, but also in lived practice. These stories may feel familiar, and they may reveal just how powerful a small shift can be. You have now learned the first steps: smaller portions, better pairings, thoughtful timing, rotation, and mindful chewing. These adjustments alone can transform how avocado feels in the body, shifting it from heavy and draining to light and supportive. If you try even one of these today, you may notice the difference as early as your next meal. But this is where I want you to pause and make a choice. If you have felt that certain foods no longer serve you the way they once did, now is the time to act. Do not let these lessons remain just words. Test them, try them, share what happens in the comments so that your story can guide another who is searching quietly for answers. Everything we have covered so far lays the foundation, but the most important truths are still ahead. It is one thing to know what to do. It is another to understand why it matters. That knowledge creates confidence, the kind that helps you make choices without fear or hesitation. That is what we are about to uncover. The next part will take us deeper into the science and the wisdom that explain exactly why these adjustments work. You will see that they are not random tips, but powerful principles, rooted in both tradition and modern evidence. This understanding will anchor the changes you make and ensure that they last. And after that, I will show you how to bring it all together into one simple ritual, a way to enjoy avocado safely and with peace of mind every single time. These are the two most important parts of this journey, and they may be the reason you feel lighter, clearer, and stronger in the days ahead. Stay with me, because what comes next can change the way you eat for the rest of your life. Sometimes the most powerful lessons are not found in textbooks, but in the quiet stories of people who listened to their bodies and made changes. These stories remind us that wisdom is lived, not only studied. They show how avocado, when adjusted with care, can shift from discomfort to comfort, from burden to blessing. One person in their late 60s enjoyed avocado toast every morning. At first it seemed perfect, a way to begin the day with healthy fats. But over time, a dull heaviness appeared after each breakfast, lasting well into the afternoon. It was assumed this was simply aging, until the portion was reduced to just a few slices and paired with warm tea. The heaviness faded, and energy returned to the mornings. A small shift, yet it changed the rhythm of the entire day. Another elder, in their early 70s, lived with the worry of blood-thinning medication. They loved avocado but feared the warnings about vitamin K. With guidance, they began to eat smaller, consistent amounts a few times each week, instead of large portions all at once. Their medical tests remained steady, and their confidence grew. Avocado returned to the table, not as a source of anxiety, but as a balanced part of a stable diet. There was also a person in their 80s who often felt tired and foggy after lunch. They thought this was just the way afternoons must be at that age. But after moving avocado to breakfast instead of lunch, the fog lifted, energy became smoother, and afternoons were once again active. What had seemed like aging itself was revealed to be the timing of a meal. These stories may sound simple, yet they speak to a truth many forget. The body whispers first, and only later does it shout. Those who listened early were able to adapt before small discomforts became lasting problems. The changes were not dramatic or complicated, but gentle and thoughtful, rooted in respect for the body's needs. Have you experienced something similar yourself? Perhaps a food you once enjoyed became difficult until you adjusted how or when you ate it. If you have, share your story in the comments. These reflections carry weight, for someone listening right now may be wondering if their own discomfort has an answer. Your words may bring them reassurance. When we look at these lived experiences, a pattern emerges. Avocado is not the enemy. It is the way it is consumed that matters. Portion, timing, pairing, and consistency make the difference between discomfort and vitality. Each story is a reminder that food can either hinder or help, depending on how wisely it is used. In the next section, we will go deeper into the science and tradition that explain why these small changes work. You will see that what seems like simple common sense is also supported by both research and the wisdom of generations. Understanding this connection strengthens our confidence, showing us that tradition and science often walk hand in hand. Science and wisdom behind the adjustments. Every adjustment I have shared rests not only on tradition, but also on the foundation of science. When wisdom and science meet, the guidance becomes even stronger because it speaks both to the past and to the present. Avocado may be praised as a perfect food, but perfection depends on context, and for elders, context is everything. One reason smaller portions work better is that digestion slows with age. Studies show that pancreatic enzymes and bile release become weaker over time. With less of these helpers, large amounts of fat remain in the stomach longer, causing heaviness. By limiting avocado to a modest serving, the body can fully manage the nutrients without strain. Tradition teaches moderation, and science explains why it matters. Pairing avocado with warm or bitter foods also has both traditional and scientific support. For centuries, Japanese meals have included small amounts of pickled vegetables, ginger or miso. These flavors stimulate digestion, awakening the flow of bile and enzymes. Modern research confirms that bitter and sour taste trigger the digestive system, making it easier to process fats. What was once wisdom passed quietly through kitchens is now supported by medical study. Timing is another adjustment with strong evidence. Eating avocado earlier in the day provides energy when it is needed most and gives the body time to metabolize fats before rest. Research into circadian rhythms shows that digestion is more efficient earlier in the day. Tradition also reflects this, as many elders remember heavier meals being served at midday rather than in the evening. Science and custom are in agreement. Consistency is equally important, especially when medication is involved. Blood thinners require stable levels of vitamin K to remain effective. Eating avocado erratically in large amounts can cause fluctuation, while small and steady portions create balance. This is why doctors emphasize consistency, not avoidance. In this way, science supports the same principle elders have practiced for generations. Steadiness protects health. Water intake may seem simple, yet it is often the missing piece. Fiber and potassium, both abundant in avocado, need water to move smoothly through the system. Without enough, the digestive tract slows and the kidneys struggle. Traditional Japanese meals almost always include broth or tea, a natural form of hydration paired with food. Once again, research explains the reason while tradition offers the solution. Have you ever noticed how your body responds differently when you enjoy a warm tea with a meal, compared to eating in silence with only the food? These small details shape the way the body digests and absorbs nutrients. If you have, share it in the comments. Others may realize for the first time that such a small action made such a difference in their comfort. Together, these points show that the small adjustments are not random or untested. They carry the weight of tradition and the clarity of science. They remind us that even as the body changes, wisdom and knowledge can guide us back into harmony with our meals. In the next section, I will show you how to bring all these ideas together into one simple, repeatable practice. This will give you a way to enjoy avocado safely, with confidence and peace of mind. Building your own avocado ritual. Knowing the science is one thing, but turning it into a daily habit is what creates lasting change. That is why I like to think of it as creating a ritual, something intentional and repeatable, something that feels not like restriction but like care. This ritual can transform the way avocado feels in the body. Begin with warmth. A warm cup of tea, a light broth, or even hot water with ginger helps prepare the digestive system. This simple step awakens the stomach and readies it for fat digestion. For generations, elders began meals with warmth, and modern understanding shows why this practice works so well. Next comes portion. Instead of using half or a whole avocado, set aside just a few slices. Place them gently on your plate alongside soft vegetables or lean protein. This allows the nutrients to be absorbed without overwhelming digestion. By choosing smaller amounts, the body receives nourishment without burden. Mindful pairing strengthens the ritual. Combine avocado with foods that lighten its richness. A few slices over steamed greens, a small portion with tofu, or even alongside lightly pickled vegetables makes it easier to digest. These combinations are not only practical, but also delicious, offering variety and balance. Timing matters too. Place avocado at breakfast or lunch, when the body is most ready to handle fats. This provides energy for the day rather than heaviness at night. When eaten earlier, avocado becomes fuel for activity, not a weight that lingers into rest. Hydration completes the process. Drink another cup of water or tea within 10 minutes of finishing your meal. This helps fiber move smoothly and supports the kidneys as they filter potassium. Without this step, the body struggles more than it needs to. With it, everything flows with greater ease. Have you ever tried building a ritual around a food, not just eating it quickly, but creating a moment of preparation and intention? If so, how did it change your experience? Share your thoughts in the comments. Many may discover that food is not only about nutrients, but about the rhythm and respect we bring to it. Avocado's creamy texture makes it easy to swallow quickly, but pausing to chew gives enzymes time to mix and signals to the brain that nourishment is arriving. This small act often makes the difference between feeling heavy afterward or feeling satisfied and light. By weaving these steps together, avocado transforms from a source of concern into a source of confidence. It becomes part of a nourishing ritual that respects the wisdom of age while honoring the science of digestion. In the next section, I will share why stories of these rituals matter so much and how they can encourage us all to keep listening to the body's voice. We have walked a journey together, beginning with a myth many take for granted, that avocados are always safe, always simple, always a superfood. We learned that after 60, the body changes in ways that require new wisdom. Digestion slows, medications interact differently, and energy responds in ways that can surprise us. What once was effortless may now require intention. We uncovered the 3 quiet warning signs that avocado may no longer be serving you: heaviness after meals, unexpected bruising or bleeding, and fatigue that lingers. We explored the gentle adjustments that turn avocado back into a friend: smaller portions, mindful pairings, warm drinks, consistent timing, hydration, and slower chewing, and we saw how science and tradition both explain and confirm why these small steps matter. The lesson is simple but powerful. Small changes bring great protection. Food does not need to be abandoned, but it must be adapted. The memorable truth to carry with you is this: harmony, not excess, is the path to longevity. Let this guide you not only with avocado, but with every choice you place on your plate. So here is one clear step for this week. Choose one of the adjustments we discussed, perhaps eating avocado earlier in the day, or reducing the portion to a few slices instead of half a fruit. Notice how your body responds and let that response teach you. This is how wisdom is built, one meal at a time. And now I ask you, as always, to join the conversation. Tell us in the comments which change you will try first, or what has already worked for you. We read every reflection, and they bring strength to this community of health seekers. Together we learn not only from science or tradition, but from each other. May your meals be lighter, your body stronger, and your independence preserved for many years to come.